In this video, we'll be talking about propagating fixture units through a vent system and how we've done it in this content package. So this is the completed sample project with all of our tags, and there's no tricks here. As you can see, the vent system is propagating fixture units. This is from the lower level, this is from the second level, and then all the way out to the vent through roof family. So how are we doing that? Well, first off, it's accomplished by using a sanitary system classification for the vent. So what that means, if we go down to our piping systems here, is that our sanitary vent, our vent piping system is actually a sanitary system classification. Why? Mainly because we can calculate flow. For some reason, the vent system classification in Revit does not allow fixture unit propagation, and we're currently working with Autodesk to resolve that. So as you can see down here, we're telling people not to use the vent system classification because it can only calculate volume, which does nothing for sizing it per code. So that's step one, is using a sanitary system classification for your vent. Now, step two, you need a system to separate out the waste fixture units from the vent fixture units. So what we created was a couple different tees that are essentially modified out-of-the-box tees for PVC piping that have the connectors set up to accomplish this. When they function correctly, they turn black, which represents there's multiple systems in the fitting family. So all of these throughout the project, you should see them as black if they're working correctly. So now how do we make those? Well, let's go to a working view and I'll show you. All right, so this is already complete here. So let's empty this out. All right, so I have a floor drain here, and I'm going to show you how to make these on the fly if you need to. So I'm going to create a piping system. Call it sanitary sewer, sure. Let's draw some pipe from this floor drain. So I'm going to go down 1.5 feet. Now there's multiple methods for these tees, and there's multiple situations where you may have a vertical drop or a horizontal drop. I guess I'll show you the horizontal takeoff here, and then we'll use the vertical for the double. So I'm going to draw my pipe here, and then let's go to our section view. So let's change this to a trap just to make it a little more realistic. We can move this up as needed. Let's go -1 foot. So first thing we have to do is we have to create a tee off of this. So I'm going to select this pipe, I'm going to hit CS, and I'm going to draw right off of it. So I'm going to come all the way up into the ceiling space, and we're going to offset this pipe. All right, so now we have a tee here, but now we need to swap it out with our special fitting. So we can choose this tee here. We can go to our properties pull down, and we have two options. We have system split horizontal and system split vertical. So this is a system split horizontal because the sanitary pipe is running horizontally through the fitting. So I'm going to choose that. And now what you have to do in Revit, this has changed throughout the versions of Revit. So this process in 2014 was simpler, and now it's got a little bit more complicated in 2016 and 2017. But as far as I can tell, it still works all the way into 2018. So you have to drag this pipe out, and I'm going to select this fitting here right now. And we have two systems on this fitting right now. So I'm going to stretch this back in. All right, so now we have two systems here. As you can see, our fixture units coming from the floor drain is going out to the vent, and it's going out to the sanitary. But what we have to do is we have to eliminate this extra system here. So I'm going to change this one to a sanitary vent, which we'll use in a moment. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tab over this fitting until I get to that extra system. There it is, right there. That dashed box represents the second system. I'm going to select it with a left click and then hit delete. And now we're back down to one system, but that just enabled this connector to be a different system. So when we drag this in now, the fitting turned black, which tells me that it worked. And now we have fixture units in all of these pipes. All right, so that was kind of the simple scenario. So let's look at a cross or a back-to-back lavatory. Maybe it's a back-to-back floor drain scenario. So I'm going to delete these, and just to save us some time, I'm going to mirror this piping to the other side. All right, let's go back to our section. Okay, so I'm going to remake this from scratch again. So what I'm going to have is both of these floor drains tie into a cross and go down, and the vent takeoff come from the top. All right, so I'm going to eliminate this pipe here. All right, so first thing is I'm going to draw this pipe down. So we're going to draw a pipe down, and now this pipe could be offsetting into the plan or out of the plan, however we want to show it. Say, okay, it's minus 2 feet. And now we're going to make this into a cross fitting. So first I'll make it a vertical, and then before you can make it across, you have to draw a leg off the top. And now we'll make it a cross. So we'll delete that. We'll align these now to this. Oh, let's go the other way. Let's keep our vent piping in the wall. And now we're going to swap out this fitting. All right. So we're going to take this out and stretch this back in. Okay, let's look at our fitting now. So we have all these different systems in here. So when I see that, I'm thinking, perfect, this is going to work just fine. So now we're going to stretch this in. So the important part is this: if this is already an existing system and this pipe is connected to a larger network, you want to actually disconnect this pipe from that network when you make this switch to this fitting. And now we have these extra systems in here. So once again, we're going to tab over this until we get to that. There it is. There's the extra system. Left click to select, then delete. And now we drag this in. And there we go. So we have 4 fixture units from that floor drain. We have 8 fixture units there, and the vent is showing 8 fixture units. So that is how you create these vent takeoffs on the fly. Now that obviously takes a lot of time, and we don't always have that time to do that kind of detail to make sure these fixture units are propagating. So we did all the work for you. We made a handful of different groups. So and we'll be talking more about groups later on, but specific to sanitary and vent, if we search for drain, we have a horizontal system split option. So as you can see, the special fitting is already there and the vent is already propagating. We have a vertical option. And then we also have, things like back-to-back lavs. So lavatory, ADA, back-to-back. So now we've done all the work to create these fittings and place them for you. You just have to place the group and you get the fixture units. So if I add some tags to this, let's do the same for these. I'll move them over here for the moment. And let's annotate this one. So as you can see, the waste is already propagating flow. If we ungroup these and we change the tags, you'll see that the vent is as well. So if we select these vent tags and we go to size and system and fixture units, there you go. So this one's 0 because it's an open end here. So that's a unique case, but the fitting is already set up for you correctly. And that is the vent takeoff fitting.